Today, we have a really good, exciting agenda. We're going to have first Venitra White-Dean from the Frankie Mae Foundation is going to present a little bit about her organization. And I know everybody on this call should get our newsletter, and we did a feature of them last week. We are going to have Nolan from the Museum of History talk a little bit about an exhibit that is going to be, well, actually an event next week that I hope folks will find very exciting about a East Charlotte photo scanning day. I'm going to talk a little bit about some back to school events and planning that CMS has, and then we'll wrap it up with a very brief chat about what's happening with Eastland, because more to that is going to come, and that is certainly okay, reading the chat. So with that said, Venitra, I'm gonna pass it over to you. I'm gonna give you screen sharing access if you so desire, and it is all you.
Well, thanks, Greg. Hello, everybody. It's exciting to be here, to be a part of this. And Greg, I appreciate you coming out to our event last month. I appreciate the write-up in the newsletter. And I just wanted to briefly let you all know about the Frankie Mae Foundation. And please forgive me, I just got these braces and trying to figure out how to talk and all that, so just forgive me. So the Frankie Mae Foundation, we meet at Weeping Willow AME Zion Church, which is on Milton Road in East Charlotte. And the foundation was born out of necessity. My husband and I were my mother's primary caregiver. She lived with an Alzheimer's diagnosis. And so from beginning of 2012 until she passed away in September of 2020, my husband and I took on the role of being her primary caregiver. I was fortunate in that I worked from home even before COVID. So working from home gave me the flexibility to do what I needed to do to take care of her, and then also still to be able to do some of the things that I needed to do. But as the disease progressed and as her needs changed, throughout that process, it's a lot emotionally, it's a lot physically, for the caregiver as well as for the person that has the disease. So when she passed away in 2020, I decided that I wanted to do something for other caregivers. Again, I was fortunate. I worked from home. My husband was very helpful with my mother. We had hospice to come in towards the end, and my mother had a long-term care policy. So we were able to pay for some extra hands to come in and help out. And it was still challenging, even with all the help that I had. So I knew that there were caregivers out there that needed some help, needed some resources, needed a village, needed some support. So we started the foundation in January of 2022, and I call it a support group on steroids. So we do more than just get together and talk for an hour a month. We get together at our monthly meetups, and Greg came to our meetup last month. And the meetups are an event to where the caregivers can come, be around other caregivers. We have a speaker to come and talk about resources that are available in the community for the caregivers. It could be the Department of Social Services has come and talked about their resources. Someone from the Alzheimer's Association talking about budgeting, because as you become a caregiver, your finances start looking a little different than they did before you became a caregiver. And it's not just, and I said the Alzheimer's Association, it's not just for Alzheimer's caregivers, it is for anyone caring for a loved one with a chronic illness. So that chronic illness could be kidney disease, it could be heart disease, it could be cancer, whatever it is. If you're caring for a loved one, that's what we're here for. And also during those meetups, we have a catered lunch and we have a fun activity. And I stress the fun activities because caregivers are overwhelmed, they're tired, they're worn out, and then they also feel guilty sometimes doing something for themselves because they feel like they should be caregiving all the time. So we do a fun activity every month. And then during the meetup, we have a caregiver store. And at the caregiver store, the caregivers can get any incontinence supplies, Depends, bed pads. We have rinse-free body wash, gloves, masks, cleaning supplies, things like that, that insurance doesn't cover. And I know for us, when my mother got to the point where she was incontinent, buying those Depends every month and stocking up on those Depends can get expensive. So everything at the caregiver store is free. The caregivers can get what they need to last them until the next month. And we got a $25,000 grant, the United Way. So we use those funds to restock the store. And also we pay for respite care so that the caregivers can come to the monthly meetup. So they don't have to worry about trying to find anyone to take care of their loved one or paying for someone to take care of their loved one, because again, that can get expensive. I'm not sure if you all know how much home health is, but you're looking at least $30 an hour for someone to come in and sit with your loved one. So we take care of that expense so that the caregiver can get out, be around other caregivers, learn some stuff, have fun, and just be around people that understand what they're going through without being judged. And we have other programs. We've partnered with other nonprofits. One of the things that we just rolled out last week, we partnered with another nonprofit. They provide free mental health therapy sessions. And so the caregivers can get free mental health sessions. I even signed up myself. I know I needed some too.
Oh,
so
we got it all on.
We got free therapy sessions, the monthly meetups, and we've also had Humana and Centerwell are actually some of our sponsors, one of our big sponsors. In addition to the monthly meetup, we do something that we call Frankie Mae Fun. So once a month, in addition to the meetup, Centerwell and Humana pay for our caregivers to do something fun. No speakers, none of that. We just get together and have a good time. They pay for it. And so that's it in a nutshell. It's just we're here to care for the family caregivers and help make this journey easier, because it's not easy, but anything to help them in this journey. And the caregivers have made friends with other caregivers. They're calling each other, they're texting each other. And we also have a volunteer base that call the caregivers on a regular basis just to check in on them, because I know when I was living the life of a caregiver, it can get lonely, it can get depressing, and just to know that somebody is there for you, thinking about you, it makes the world of a difference in the life of a caregiver. So that's it in a nutshell.
Awesome. And to clarify, I don't know if you said this, Venitra, but they are off of the ancillary, I don't know what you call it, auxiliary building at Weeping Willow AME Zion.
Yep, right on Milton Road.
So yeah, any questions for Venitra? I'll leave the floor open. Anybody wants to discuss any elements further about their program? I will say that, you know, when I went over there, I was not familiar with the work that you all did, and then when I went over there, I had no idea there was such a need, right? And I rarely see an organization that fills a need in such a like uplifting manner. So I again, just thank you for inviting me into your space here and letting us speak and profile y'all, because really phenomenal experience.
And one of the things I forgot to point out too, I see some men on here, and men are different. And we have some male caregivers. We have about 15 male caregivers, and we have 2 or 3 that show up at the monthly meetups. And so I'm like, how can we get the other 12, 13 male caregivers to just come. And I know it can be overwhelming. You're in a room with 50 plus women. So we decided that we were going to do something specifically for the male caregivers. So we started a quarterly male caregiver group. They meet once a quarter. They're meeting again next month. And it's strictly for the men. They get together, do men stuff, hang out with other male caregivers, and do male bonding. And then they come together. And we actually, after we did the first quarterly meetup with the male caregivers, we saw an increase of the men coming to the monthly meetups. So, we try to think about caregivers as a whole and know that male caregivers are different. My husband, when we were taking care of my mother, my husband operates differently than I operate. And so I try to think of something, and I think just having them meet separately to where they can release around other men, I think that makes a world of a difference to the male caregivers too.
Wonderful. Any questions or comments for Venitra? Alrighty, well, if we get any, I'm gonna send this out, like I said, Venitra, to our mailing list, and I'm sure it'll give more folks the opportunity to learn about the work. But what's your guys' next upcoming event, like social?
Our next one is July 29th at the church, and we're having a tea. And we have Angela Burrow is coming to talk about being a dementia-friendly community. We're doing the sip and paint, and we have a photo booth coming, a 360 photo booth. We're going to have live music. So it's entertaining and it's educational, and we just get together and have a good time.
And I don't know if you mentioned this either, but I think your attendance at last month's social was what, 60, 70 plus?
83.
Ooh, 83.
Yes, 83 people. And when we started out last year in January, it was 13 people. So we have grown every month since then.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Well, thank you, Venitra, for sharing. Hope you can please stay on the
Oh,
call with us.
I am.
Okay.
Thank you.
Because one of the goals of what Charlotte East, what I wanted to do this year, really taking this meeting over from MECMIN, was to build an extremely strong community, hyper focused in East Charlotte, right? Of the people working in this service space, be it like programs, be it direct provider services. And I think, the more that we continue with this and highlighting different folks every month, the stronger our network can become for our Eastsiders. So thank you for sharing today, Venitra.
Thank you for the invitation.
Nolan, let us get you up, sir, and let me go ahead and I will share the website. But it's all you. Unless you have something else you want to share.
Well, no, I mean, hi, everybody. I'm Nolan Dom. I'm the Programs and Exhibits Manager at the Charlotte Museum of History. I guess maybe y'all do, but not a lot of folks know that we are right in the heart of East Charlotte off of Shamrock Drive. We're one of the largest spaces on the side. We host a lot of different events, programs. We've got some great exhibits right now as well. So I hope you'll stop by. But I'm here to talk about an event we have coming up next week. It is called a community scanning day, although it's at night, so maybe it should be called a community scanning night. But anyway, it's going to be a chance for residents of East Charlotte, very broadly defined. So please share this with anybody who lives in the area. But residents of East Charlotte, we hope that they'll come in, and we're looking for, any photos, documents, family objects, heirlooms, anything like that that you think is worth sharing with us. We would love for you to stop by, and what we'll do is we'll digitize it. We'll collect your story. We'll send you the digital copy, and then we will create a little sort of temporary pop-up exhibit featuring a lot of the stories that we collect during this night. And the big thing here is, like it says there, you're a part of history. It doesn't matter if you've lived here for 2 years, if you are, or if you're like a 5th generation Charlotte resident. For us, what we think is that, you know, everybody who lives here is part of this story, and that we just want to make sure that we're telling it. You know, we as the museum, we are part of your community. We are a community resource for you. And, you know, this is part of it. We're going to be there for 2 hours. If you want to stop by for 5 minutes, scan your thing and leave, that's okay. If you want to stick around, check out the exhibits, it'll be a free night at the museum as well. So please email me with any questions. I'll put my email in the chat here real quick. Or you can just go to our website that you're seeing right now. But that's all I really have for everybody. If you have any questions about our programming or exhibits, those are questions for me. And I would love to chat with each and every one of you if you reach out. So thanks so much for everybody's time.
Thank you, Nolan. And we're gonna shoot. I'm gonna put it not press release, but I'll put it out in a newsletter blast tomorrow and put it up on social. Or have you guys put the flyer up on social yet?
Nope. We are just now in our social media sort of planning. We are gonna put up a post in the next few days, so
Okay,
we'll
I'll
be
wait
doing
for
that
that.
as well. If we want to share that type of stuff.
Cool. Sounds good. But y'all, I think this is just to reiterate what he's saying. It's going to be a phenomenal opportunity, right? To have, I think the Museum of History in the past few years has made a really intentional effort about making this space, making folks aware of the space, and doing intentional programming like this that brings our community into the space and truly makes it just like a space for East Charlotte and Charlotte in general. So I really want to hopefully get a good number of people out to this, and I'm going to shoot this out pretty widely tomorrow. But anything that comes in that that helps you identify or whatever as being a part of the East Charlotte story. Our people are our community and are our history. So looking forward to next Thursday. Let me see y'all really quickly. I think I had on the agenda. This is going to be a shorter meeting. Let me do this. I believe I had on the agenda a quick update about back to school events. And, I know we traditionally have quite a few backpack drives and giveaways that come up around this time of year. But one thing that was approached to me yesterday is the school board representative, Stephanie Sneed and Dee Rankin, are both hoping to host an event. I actually think it might be at Weeping Willow. It's in preliminary planning stages, but the first week of August, from the community to come and tell them what they want their goals to be in terms of CMS's board goals. So for the past few years, CMS has operated under a set of board goals that they've used for the superintendent to drive policy around. CMS is re-looking at those goals because this new board says, we don't necessarily believe that the goals that were set forward under the previous board are cutting it and should be things that we need to work toward. So be on the lookout for communication around that. Again, probably the first week of August, likely at Weeping Willow, but a huge just community session to give input as what should the future of the district look like in terms of setting actual deliverable outcomes. And I know for me, this is something we've continuously heard, and I see being in the classroom is just making a very, very intentional effort on literacy rates, right? How do you quantify literacy rates? But that was the first thing that popped in my mind. We talk so often and much about test scores and college and career readiness, but you're skipping over a whole entire step about just basic literacy, right? And the fact that our math proficiency in this district is less than 10% for our younger kids. So things like that will be the large topic of conversation. Last item, and I'm going to do this one very quickly, because this is my fourth call about it today. Eastland Yards, we had a big community turnout at the council meeting on Monday, at which nothing was done, accomplished. And I mean nothing. There's no clear deliverable. Staff put forward on their own a recommendation to move forward with an option that the community, by and large, that we have voiced opposition to, which would be a large-scale entertainment venue with privately run and operated soccer field. Like that, I will open the floor.
I would love to extend an invitation to all of y'all to come by and check out our new location sometime. We're open Monday through Thursday from 9 o'clock to 5 p.m. You don't need an appointment or anything. If you just happen to be in the area and you want to stop by, we would absolutely love to see you. So if you haven't been by the new International House space yet, please come by and see us. We'll be happy to give you a tour, show you what it's all about. And then I mentioned this at the last MECMIN meeting, I think, but we are offering cultural sensitivity trainings. We have one coming up this Friday, another one coming up on July 24th. But for these next two trainings, we are waiving the $45 registration fee for any of our community partners that have staff that may want to come through and get that training. We go over things like navigating cultural differences, the importance of nonverbal communication when you're working across language barriers, as well as best practices for working with interpreters and translation tools. So if anyone's interested in that, please reach out to me and we'll get you registered for something.
Thank you. Can you drop your address in the chat too, please?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. I'm sure it must be nice to like know that you have a space now. I can't imagine what kind of peace of mind that provides.
We did not secure this location until about the middle of April, and we had to be out by the beginning of July. So it was definitely a pretty quick turnaround. We were pretty anxious, but we are all very, very happy with our new space and the way it all worked out.
Wonderful. So glad to hear. Thank you. Thank you, Lauren. Trisha, do you have anything from anything from Maura that you want to share? I know you guys have some events coming up.
I just did the newsletter, so I'm a little bit saturated, but yeah, we've got the Summer Breeze concert. All of our concerts are open to the community and they're in that public space around the Embrace sculpture. We have that on July 20th. And the next month we have one that is going to be, I'm sorry, there's a parakeet next to me. The next month there's going to be one where we're going to bring in skating and it's going to be more of a back to school theme. So I was eager to hear what you guys were going to talk about with some of those events and see if there's anything else that we can plug into the programming. That's all I have for now.
No, I'm sorry to put you on the spot. And I realized it was like a really cursory overview of the back to school stuff. There's going to be a more robust calendar of things that are coming because I know we have so many agencies that do and organizations that do back to school stuff. So if anybody has those that their organizations are doing, please send them my way so I can start putting them on our community calendar, because I know early August is packed with events, but we also usually don't get them until like 3 or 4 days before, right? So I have to make sure that we can get some planning and actually pump this out, because you guys know organizing and getting things to our neighborhoods, especially around the Central and Albemarle corridor, we got a lot more hoops, and it's in terms of communication to jump through, which is fine. It just takes a little bit more time.
But we both need to talk about the Youth Leadership Conference that's coming up August 1st and 2nd at Cokesbury Methodist Church. This is being, and I'll just tease it and then you can take it, or you can make sure that you follow up with that. This is free to all high school youth. This is the Uncommon Leadership Conference, 2 days. They're providing lunch. There's a ton of keynote speakers. Greg Asciutto is one of them on day 2. Then there's a ton more community engagement, business leaders. More is going to be there on the second day following Greg's keynote, I believe. And this is really just to inspire, to get youth empowered and starting conversation with one another about the future leadership of our communities. So this is just an amazing opportunity that's being extended for free through Lead Charlotte and some other community support.
Thank you for reminding me that I have to submit, because I didn't know I was given the keynote until like 2 days, a keynote until like 2 days ago, which is fine. I'm honored and I'm very excited. I'm given one of them in the morning, but I have to email them back and let them know what my topic is going to be on. So, oh, that's really good. Venitra just said that, and would it be Spanish speaking friendly? I do not think Jonathan has it translated. Did you get that impression, Trisha, that they're going to do translation services?
I don't know. I think there's going to be a lot of representation from the Spanish speaking community there, but I don't know that they'll have an interpreter. And we'll definitely get with your community offerings, International House, to make sure that we're suggesting and connecting people with services for the future.
Sure, absolutely.
Can you send the information about that? So we
It's in the, I just put it in the chat, but I will also send it as a follow-up email tomorrow.
Okay, that'd be great.
Thank you.
Sure.
And hi, everyone. My name is Irma. I'm with Central United Methodist Church, and I just wanted to share with you that this Monday, July the 17th, we're going to have StarMed with the mobile medicine service, doing wellness exams, blood pressures, and the school and annual physicals for children. So if you know any group of newcomers or students that are going to be needing their physical exam, we're going to have that done here Monday, the 17th, and we're going to have another date on next month. So I'll make sure to share those flyers with you so that you can pass them on your community.
Thank you. And again, if there's anything like that, go ahead, Curtis. Go ahead. In Irma, well, unless you're not able to, but Curtis just plugged something in there for his organization. But Irma, if you will send me the flyers, I would appreciate that, and I'll be able to push those out tomorrow.
I will. Thank you.
And I'll get everything. And Curtis, the same. If you want to go ahead and push that out with okay, I got it. I see the website. I'll go ahead and put that on my thing for tomorrow too. Alrighty, anything else anyone would like to bring up? Alrighty then. Alrighty, y'all. I will loop back with communication tomorrow. We are out of here at a little bit before time. So thank you all very much for attending, and always feel free to reach out with any questions.
Thank you.
Bye,
Thanks,
y'all.
everyone. Good to see you all.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Greg.
Bye.